So I saw a very short clip of a guy talking about Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa, and it's from a very reputable MMA news outlet that I actually get a lot of the information that I see on the internet from. And it was disappointing to see his take because it was honestly one of the worst opinions I've ever seen in my entire life. And I have an issue with this because this is the type of stuff is why MMA and combat sports media is getting such a bad rap these days. And it's because of guys like this who just speak nonsense, who look like they've never been in a gym before, nonetheless look like they've never even thrown a punch before. And yet they get put on these big ass platforms with these big ass news media, and they just look like complete fools of themselves. I'm not gonna show the clip or expose the guy or anything. I'm sure some of you can do your research and find out who the hell I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna expose it. I just don't really understand what the hell he is talking about and what he means by this. So basically, you know, if you watch the Sean Strickland versus Paulo Costa fight, it was very, very uneventful, a pretty damn boring fight up until, of course, the last 30 seconds when Sean Strickland started going crazy, doing jumping kicks, even threw a jumping punch. It was basically a copy and paste, exactly the same as his fight against Israel Adesanya, where not much happened throughout the entire fight up until the very end, the last 30 seconds when Strickland started going absolutely crazy and emptying the gas tank. So my thing just is that if you praised him for that Israel Adesanya fight, well, then you got to keep that same energy. And the guy was pretty much saying, you know, if you're going to throw those front kicks to the body, then you can't expect someone to play that game with you and come forward and strike with you. Almost like blaming the boring fight on Sean Strickland and saying that in how Sean Strickland fought in those last 30 seconds is how he should fight more often during the fight. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. I have no idea why Sean Strickland is getting the brunt of this being a boring fight. That makes absolutely no sense. Paulo Costa, his nickname is the Eraser. How do you go from standing toe-to-toe with arguably one of the most scariest MMA fighters in UFC history in Yoel Romero, which Paulo Costa did? He stood toe-to-toe with Yoel Romero, but won't stand toe-to-toe with Sean Strickland. Strickland was figuratively and literally marching forward in Paulo Costa's face, and all Costa did was circle around against the cage. He didn't try to close distance, he didn't try to level change, he didn't try any of that. He just circled around the cage the entire fight. Sean Strickland's push kicks were definitely doing a lot of damage too, because you can see the midsection of Paulo Costa was bleeding and scratched up and cut up all over the freaking place, and Strickland has a really good jab. But what people don't understand, like probably this guy, how you nullify that is close the distance. He can't jab you in the clinch and he can't front kick you to the body like that if you're all up in his face and not giving him the space to do so. And why should Strickland fight like how he fought in the last 30 seconds? He's fighting like that because it's literally the last 30 seconds. He doesn't have to fight anymore after that, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. He can let the whole entire complete gas tank out if he wants to, because there's no more fighting after that. If he were to fight like that the entire fight, then you'd be saying, oh, why does he do that if he's tiring himself out? He needs to conserve energy. The point of having this type of job is to go out there and win. Strickland was winning the fight. He was doing what he was supposed to do. And if you're winning a fight, you don't deviate from that and go and do something else. You continue to do what you're doing because you're winning. It's up to the guy that's losing, and in this case, Paulo Costa, to be like, all right, I'm losing these rounds. I need to switch up my game plan and do something else that's going to put me in the green and make me win. It's not Strickland's job, if he's winning the fight, to change up his game plan and do something else, because he's winning doing what he's doing. Like I said, if anything, the blame should be on Paulo Costa. His nickname is the Eraser. If you didn't know who these guys were, this was your very first fight ever watching in the UFC, and someone told you, yo, this guy's nickname is the Eraser, and then you've seen him fight the way he fights. Does he live up to the nickname? Like, come on, man. I'm not a fan of either guy, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Sean Strickland was marching forward the entire freaking fight. If Paulo Costa fought how he used to fight, this would have been an absolute war. But maybe it was because of the Izzy fight that pushed Paulo to be a little bit more hesitant, knowing that, you know, he can get clipped, and when he does, he can get hurt and get finished. But you got a guy in Sean Strickland who's just in your face the entire fight, marching forward right in front of you. I just don't see how anyone could really put the blame on Strickland. It takes two to tango, and Paulo Costa just wasn't really feeling it that night. But that's my opinion on the matter. I don't know. Maybe y'all agree. Maybe y'all disagree. Maybe y'all think Sean Strickland should be the one to blame. Maybe you think he should have pushed the action a little bit more. Regardless, whether you agree or disagree, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, I thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.